Traded it all if I gave it all away for one thing.
So welcome back, everyone. Now, my next guest has been on with me once before, and I'm really excited about having her on. I have with me Solar Sandy. And, the last time when you were on, we had a whole thing about Ask Solar Sandy, and you're really all about educating people about this. I want you to tell a little bit about yourselves and what you do. Go ahead.
Well, thanks, Carol, for having me back on. It's my pleasure to come in and just explain simply what solar does and the benefits of it for people to lower their power bills. And, I started doing this a little over 2 years ago. My daughter, her power bill was going up and up and up. And as any mom, I tried to help her with her bill. And then I said, there's got to be a solution to this. So I started researching and found that there was an option that you don't have to buy your power from the power company, that expensive power. And I can cut, like my daughter's bill, we cut it in half and then some. So then I thought, well, there's more people out there that don't want to be, having these increasing, like a summer like we've just had, $400 and $500 bills. And when I can cut those bills in half and then some, that makes a big difference on people's budgets.
Sure. Now, one of the things that I said to you before you even came on, and I asked you a little bit about it, because I saw that there's a new solar program that just passed, that they can cut the cost of the installation would be covered.
Correct.
And that is, I want people to listen up, because this is interesting. We all just went through our summer, and I know some of us even still have our air conditionings on, because if you have a 2-story house, upstairs you're turning it on, still.
It's 82 out there today, folks.
It's crazy.
We still have our AC on.
So, and it costs us a lot of money. So let's talk a little bit about some of that
Sure.
you can do. And then what I want to do is I want to open up the lines, because you have something that you want to do as a giveaway. There's a lot of incentives that you have that you can tell
Right.
people about them. They're great.
Well, the program you're speaking is the program that I speak mostly to most of my prospective consumers. Is a no-cost solar program. So we come out, we do an evaluation. I call it your electrical health. Figure out how much power you've used over the last year or two, and how many kilowatts, and how many panels you're going to need to replace that. We pay for everything, so there is no money coming out of my consumers, my prospective consumers' pocket. So we call it zero cost solar. So you're getting it for free. The panels, the installation, the maintenance, the monitoring, just like the electric company takes care of their equipment, we take care of ours. Everything's warranted. The roof is warranted. We have great installers. You don't have to worry about us making holes in your roof and the roof leaking. We take care of literally everything, and every protection is there for my consumer. So when I sit down and I talk to my families, my prospective consumers, and explain all the benefits so that they understand it, I say to people this: if your electric company called you right now and said, hey, I'm going to lower your bill 30, 35, 40%, and don't have to do a thing, you wouldn't have to think about it. You'd say, sure.
Exactly. I'm sitting here thinking, if there's no cost to it to them, why wouldn't they do it? So here's what we're going to do. We've got our lines open here for everyone to receive. It's the 5 myths of solar and how it can truly lower your energy bills. She wants everyone to have that. She's all about educating. Again, there's no cost. This is zero cost to you. So our number here, 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So then let me ask you that. I want to ask you a big question. And I don't even remember the last time that we talked about zero cost to the actual consumer.
Right.
When you talk about that, you hear that, well, it's no cost to me. Why wouldn't everybody do it?
Because there's a lot of still myths and perceptions that the old panels, they weren't as effective. So people
weren't really saving.
They weren't really saving. It would be a long time before they paid their panels off. That it would balance even it out. That they would actually be saving. So now that our power has gone up so significantly in the last 5 to 7 years, let me talk about that for a second, Carol. The Public Utility Commissions, they take care of the governing the increases for the power water, and gas. They're supposed to be on our side. Well, we just came through an election, and we all know that there's a lot of corruption in big business and all the rest of it. But so big business governs the entity of the Public Utility Commission. So they're allowed to put the rates up anywhere between 6 to 10% a year. But here in Arizona, if you look on the left-hand side of your bill, there is about 3/4 of the page that's all fees, taxes, and surcharges. 7 years ago, there wasn't maybe but 3 of those. So they are allowed to raise it by a certain percentage governed by the Public Utility Commission, but then they want to raise it 20, 30%. They just throw on another fee and tax and a surcharge. And that's why our power costs today are going over the roof. I had one gentleman he's 80 years old, wonderful man. Make no sense for him to buy panels, but it certainly makes sense for him to buy power at a lower rate than the electric company is selling it to him, because while he's in his house, he's going to use power, he's going to use his AC, and I lost my train of thought. His bill in 2014 he was on equal pay. It was $130 in 2014 to mid 2015. His equal pay in 2016 had gone up to $260. And in the 2 months from the time I started talking to him, because sometimes people have to think about things, and that's okay, I take my time with people, his bill had gone up from $260 to $300. That's more than doubled in a year and a half period of time. And he wasn't using a whole lot more power. He works in his garage, and he has a little AC unit out there, but he wasn't using a whole lot more power that his power bill should have doubled in a year and a half.
So when you work with people, you do a free consultation.
Correct.
Absolutely. And you go to them. Do you come to them and then you walk around?
Yeah,
How does it work?
I go into their home. I call the electric company with them there with their permission, get their information, the kilowatts, and what they've been paying monthly. Now, if they're on the equal pay system, they don't even know what their actual bill was this summer, because they might be paying 2, they might be paying 3. And so when I actually get their bills and they saw that their highest bill was $500 and something, and then I can lower it down to Mr. Canary says I got him down to $160.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's got everybody getting entered, well, not entered, but everyone's going to get it because it's just paperwork on it. And so it's the 5 myths of solar and how it can truly lower your energy bills. And this is a no cost to you solar system. I want to get that down. So there's zero money. Zero is what you said. Zero cost solar is
Correct.
what you called it.
Correct.
Zero cost. So our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to, talk further about this. Your website is AskSolarSandy.com. And so you can check her out there and get some information. It's AskSolarSandy.com, or call in here, get this information. Let's get our bills lower. It's 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute.
If I traded it all.
So welcome back. And we're talking with Solar Sandy. And we're calling you that. You did have at one point you were going to do this whole thing on Ask Solar Sandy, which is awesome. But we're going to leave our lines open for the rest of the show for everyone to get. It's the information on this. It's the 5 myths of solar and how it can really, truly lower your energy bills. So I'm going to leave my lines open for the rest of the show for it. 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Again, I want to reiterate this program that you have. It is a no-cost solar system, so it doesn't cost the consumer money.
Correct.
And also, to me, it's something that, another thing that I want to say is that it's warranted.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another
Yes.
thing. And they do all the upkeep on it again. So I'm going to keep my lines open for everyone to get the information at 602-277-5369. Talking about solar and when to do it, and when to, now when's the right time?
There's always, this is the time to do it. If you don't have it, this is the time to do it, because the electricity is going to continue to increase in costs. I lived in Hawaii for 25 years. When I lived in Hawaii, the price of power was about 13 cents per kilowatt. 3 years ago, when my daughter called me asking for help with her electric bill, the price of her power had gone up to 44 cents per kilowatt. So anybody wants to tell me that, this could never be that, blah, 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 No, that's not true. Power. The reason that they're going to keep on raising the rates is they can. We live in Arizona. It gets 120 degrees. We're not going to go without power. So the power company is a for-profit company. And I should explain this to people this simply. You're driving down the street and Fry's or Safeway has gas for 17 cents a gallon. Just bear with me. I know gas isn't 17 cents a gallon, but let's pretend. On the other side of the street, Costco has gas for, let's say, 10, 11 cents a gallon. I know people that will go to a different gas station for 0.3 cents on a gallon of gas, because those gallons add up. It's the same thing about kilowatts, guys. It's just like gallons of gas. So if you can have your kilowatts, your electricity, at a lower price, and you don't have to pay anything out of your pocket, why not? And pretty soon, well, it's in the works right now. The electric companies are trying to change the playing field so that the homeowners aren't able to store the power on their grid at a reasonable rate. So there's a lot of this going on right now, a lot of talk that the electric company is going to change the rules and change the pricing. So this is the time to do it, folks, because we know that this decision could come down just right after the new year. And if you're not installed and you're not PTO'd, permission to operate, by June, you could be out of luck.
Well, you can call in here and get all the information from us. It's the 5 myths of solar and how it can truly turn your energy bills around. You said that you can lower it how much?
You know,
everybody's different. I know that.
Different, but minimum 30%. You know, it's and every year it increases because the price of power goes up every year. So if I'm saving you 30% this year, it's going to be 35 next year because you're locked in at that price.
Okay, and then again, this is a no cost to you. That's what she really wants to get that out. It's no cost solar system. That's zero out of your pocket, and everything's warranted. And so our number here 602-277-5369 and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Check her out. It's AskSolarSandy.com. Go online, go check it out, and see what it is. But get the information for us and find out what she can do. It's informational. That's all it is. Exactly. It can't hurt. 602-277-5369. So are there any drawbacks at all to having solar?
You asked me the last time, and I say this. The only drawback is if you don't have it. If you sold the house, it transfers over just like the water and gas. It increases the marketability of your house, and it's putting more of your hard-earned money back into your pocket. So again, you know, if you can save money off a bill that you're already spending money on, and there's really, you know, I work for a very reputable company. Our product is warranted, maintained, monitored. You wouldn't see solar going up as fast on as many homes as it is if they hadn't gotten all of the things figured out. It just makes sense to save money off a bill you're already spending money on, and you're going to continue to need going into the future.
You would think that everybody here in Arizona who owns a home would have it.
There's only one of me, Carol.
But let me also say this too. Again, you're all about educating, because this is really something that these people are not paying for. So I understand why now more than ever that people wouldn't just say, is it because that and there might be new products out there, I don't know. You know, they're saying, oh, it's going to make my house look, you know, not as attractive.
That's one thing that I used to get, but I don't get it so much. I say, you're not going to be sitting looking at your roof, but you're going to see that bill come in each and every month. Which would bother you worse?
Yeah, right.
And then the people across the street are going to have solar, and the people across the street in the back are going to have solar. So you're not going to be looking at your roof.
But usually it's on like the side. It's usually never not right on the.
Basically, we use the southern exposure roof is the best for the best production. But you know, people usually, when I show them the savings, they can get over the aesthetics of it.
So let's talk a little bit about the plans and how you can help them again, so that we have a couple of more minutes, because I want to let them hear exactly how it works.
Well,
because no money. Right. It's like, why wouldn't you want to find out?
And no cost solar. There's nothing. You're not paying for anything. You're not paying for installation. maintenance, monitoring, everything's warranted and taken care of by us. It's exactly like the electric company. You're thinking, well, how does this company make money?
Yeah, how do you do it?
We're making money just like the power company, only we're charging less for the power that your house is now running on. So it's just like Fry's and Costco's. You go to Costco's and buy bulk, and they can sell it to you less expensive. So it's the same concept with solar. So we're going to come out. We're going to figure out how much electricity you need. I talk in kilowatts because pretty much everyone understands that kilowatts is the measurement of electricity. So I figure out how many kilowatts you've used the last 12 or 24 months. Then I do a solar saving proposal. Plug that into my software. It designs the system, how many panels, etc. And then I do everything for my consumer. There's no paperwork. There's no HOA paperwork that they have to do. We take care of everything for them. So you're basically
so all they have to do is say yes and sign.
That's basically it. Now, there's a few more steps for me to do, figuring out the plans, figuring out how many panels, that kind of thing. But no, really, it's the main thing that I want to do when I meet with my prospective consumers is I want them to be assured that through the process, from beginning to installation and even afterwards, I'm there to answer questions and make them feel comfortable. When somebody feels comfortable with something, that's when people will go forward with it. So the question you've asked me earlier is, why doesn't everybody have it? Well, they've heard good things and bad things. But give me the opportunity to sit down and talk to you and explain and answer all the questions you have. And I can assure you, once you understand it, that you're saving X amount of dollars and your future power bills are doing nothing but going up, you'll be very happy you did.
Now, in terms of it, when you work with someone and they come up, they're installed.
Right.
When do they start seeing the savings? Does it take a little while? How does it take?
It actually, their panels are going to be producing immediately as soon as they're permission to operate, APS permission to operate, or the electric company gets permission to operate. But basically immediately. I mean, we've designed the system the right size. They're not buying any more expensive power from the electric company. They're getting their power now less expensively from the solar panels.
And even though this is a zero down for them, there's no money out of their pocket.
Absolutely not.
Do they get tax credits anymore? How does that work?
There's different incentives for different programs, and I'll get everybody confused if I start going in. But when I go into people's homes, I figure out what program is best for them, and I'll explain the incentives and the credits and all that.
Are you valley-wide? Do you go to everyone? Okay,
yes.
So you are valley-wide, and she comes to you, and you talk to her a little bit. You have to see the house. You have to see the size of it. Some people only have solar. Some people have had solar on the inside, just on their panel on the inside of the house. You know,
for their water heater.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So some people are trying, to take those steps, but they just haven't taken the full plunge.
Right. And I think now is a time where, especially because we've had the hottest summer, they say, in history, people right now are saying, a couple that I saw yesterday, they're in their 70s. They said, if we don't have this, we can't stay in our home. I know young families that are struggling to send kids to college and school, etc. And the electric company, my daughter could not pay her bill. And I couldn't either. So we had to find a solution. We had to do something.
So again, she's valley-wide. You can check her out on her website. It is AskSolarSandy.com. It's easy to remember. And we've got our lines open here for everyone to get. And she's just informational. She wants to sit down and talk to you. She's going to give you the 5 myths of solar and how it can truly lower your energy bills. Again, we want to stress that this is a no-cost solar system to you. So it's informational, and then you can decide, is it something you want to do or not? So again, our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100, and you can call throughout the rest of the show to get the information. So what would be your final words today?
Just that, there's the power company is not going to call you folks. They're not lowering your bills. It's not going to happen. So the example that I used, that if the electric company calls you, that's not going to happen. Every single year, our bills are going to continue to go up and up and up. So this is the way to put more of your hard-earned money back in your pocket, whether it be for a vacation, retirement, for college, whatever. We're all are stretching our money right now. And so I'm trying to put more of that hard-earned money back in your pocket on a bill you're already spending money on. It's not curtains. It's not new carpet. It's not, new furniture. This is power. We have to have power to live here. We can't open the window when it's 120 degrees out there. We just can't do that.
So she's going to give you the 5 myths of solar and how it can lower your energy bills. And remember, this is a no-cost solar system, so that's zero cost to you. And it's all warranted. Our number here, 602.